In this program, we've learned about many topics related to the US, but what has really struck a chord with us is the topic of diversity and immigration in this country. But what do you talk about when you talk about diversity? According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, diversity is the inclusion of different types of people, as people of different races or cultures in a group or organization. However, we have come to the conclusion that there is more to diversity than only this. Embracing diversity implies exchanging cultures. Food, customs, dances and languages are exchanged and blend together. Diversity is not just about living in the same place and tolerating one another. It's about coexisting.
Diversity, for example, is about accepting other sexualities and accepting that love is colorblind and knows no boundaries. Diversity is about code switching naturally and still being able to understand others and be understood by them in all situations. Diversity is not a matter of assimilation, but one of multiculturalism, and which makes defining the concept of being American difficult. Because of diversity, being American is about having customs that are deeply rooted in this society, but also about knowing where you came from and where your own roots are. Now, we may laugh due to these cartoons and take these matters lightly, but in reality, that shouldn't happen. Diversity is most definitely not a one-fault phenomenon, and more often than not, it is met with resistance to the extreme that sometimes it is met with policies that aim at preventing it. Such is the case for immigration.
Many people die trying to cross the border in pursuit of a better future. The same reason which encouraged the first immigrants who came to America from Europe drives today's immigrant decisions. Although back then there was no notion of illegals, no walls, no border patrols. As we ponder on the matter, we wonder how come it possible for that immigrant past to be overlooked by so many. To make matters worse, anti-immigration policies are less than effective. No wall can stand tall enough in the face of the dire economic need of these people, who will somehow keep on finding new ladders to cross over. In addition, it is not only immigrants that cross. Drugs find their way around the border along with them too. If not, how can we explain the leveled price of drugs in America? As more money is put into enforcing control in the border, the immigration industry grows, because the prices for crossing over are in the rise, and the circumstances faced by immigrants who try to cross over become more and more extreme. However, this is not detriment for them, since the prime incentives that force them into making the decision of leaving their homes is still the same. In addition, and ironically, the same country which fights illegal immigration will struggle economically if the supply of cheap labor the immigrants provide were to be cut off.
At the end of the day, this immigration policy benefits a group of privileged few. Such is the case of the private penitentiary system, where immigrant sentences and operational streamline are taken to in great numbers. Many share the view that hard-earned tax money shouldn't be used to benefit immigrants by providing them with education and a proper healthcare system. However, they do not present the same objection when it comes to the use of that money to keep running the prison where immigrants are taken to. Let's do some math. If $18 million are spent on the border each year, and if one person in a given Latin American country can eat for $15 a day, that means that that same budget could be spent to feed 3.5 million people, number that coincidentally happens to be the population of Uruguay. Now, imagine that money were spent somewhere else. What if it was invested in developing countries in Central America? For example, creating job opportunities for the population and bettering their lifestyle. Wouldn't that be a better solution in the long run? You either nip a problem in the bud, or you risk never being able to change a thing.
Closing the border and forcing immigrants into an hospitable path can only mean death or a harsh separation of families. America has family as a core value which is not taken into consideration when it comes to deporting people whose families live in the US. This about it. Right this instant, an immigrant is getting ready to travel to the United States to escape violence or find a job, and he may very well be one of the victims that perished in the desert unless, of course, we do something about it. When faced with this harsh reality, we realized that these are problems that are also present in our societies. Discrimination, lack of communication, intolerance. After going through this program, we are driven to fight in order for these things to actually change in our communities. And what is more, we are convinced we now have the tools to do so.
Because of this program, we took part in very enriching experiences. For example, we did volunteer work in Amherst, which showed us that a great number of people are willing to help those who need it the most. And we were astounded by the sense of belonging people have to their communities, which is something that sometimes we don't see back home. And through our work, we realized it is possible to successfully make a change by just putting a couple of hours of your day into it. As SUSI student leaders, we came to meet people who are great examples of leadership and of social conscience, and they brought hope to us. One example of this is Dean Sykin, the creator of Dean's Beans, who taught us that you can be the leader of a profitable yet socially responsible business. And then we met John Five, the creator of No More Deaths, who taught us that human rights must be put before any policies or private interests, and that the right to life is a gift that should be treasured above anything else. SUSI has taught us how to lead by providing us with theoretical framework for it, as well as with hands-on experiences and workshops where we were given tools that can be applied to the different social projects that we're involved in. The professors and the ITD staffs have opened themselves to debate, and they're always keeping an open mind. They're always keeping an open mind and encouraging us to become critical citizens. I was trying to make a point. Well, they have chilled out too, but they have also encouraged us to become critical citizens, because the premise is that if you can argue critically, then you can understand a problem. And if you understand the problem, then you can start making a change. These past 5 weeks have really motivated us and opened our eyes to the many ways in which we can help our own communities and become active leaders for future change. And we feel as if nothing can stop us now that we have been given these tools. This journey has left us with a set of luggage full of inspiration, of drive, of desire to make a change, of projects, of new dreams, of a whole new family and a whole bunch of experiences, and also, we must admit, full of retail clothes. We want to take a moment to thank the State Department as well as the ITD staff for this incredible and unforgettable experience, and for allowing us to see that there is an even brighter future ahead for us and for our communities. Thank you.
I have a dream that one day gender or sexual orientation won't be an obstacle to achieve personal, social, or even professional goals in my country. Now I have the tools to work with my community to make others conscious and respectful about differences.
I have a dream that one day people will debate more and keep an open mind instead of promoting hate for what others have to say. During my stay in the United States, I get a great insight of this society thanks to discussing with US citizens. In my country, I will promote a workshop for young leaders to debate about the main political issues.
I have a dream to empower the girls of my hometown to fight for their rights with all the leadership skills that I have improved and learned here.
I have a dream that one day every single person in the world will be able to show up in the streets as they really are. And I'm going to do so by making people aware that diversity is so important in our communities.
I have a dream that one day I will empower my community to be more concerned about others, as I have seen and experienced at SUSI program.
I have a dream that you stay on the same side, but just kidding. I have a dream that more people understand that can also be leaders, and I will try to spread this message on Rio's favelas.
I have a dream of increasing the education in my hometown with the leadership skills that I've learned here.
I have a dream that someday people will be kind to each other and will take care of each other. And with the skills I've learned in SUSI program, I now know how to make my process come true.
I have a dream that one day my friends, partners, and all the young Chileans can understand that we have the power to make big changes in the world and make to my country a better place to live.
I have a dream that one day I could spread the Uruguayan model of education for the world to understand it as a basic need, and also I feel I got enough strength to improve it in my country as well.
I have a dream to fight inequality in my community through education by providing people from lower income backgrounds with the same education that people from high income backgrounds can get. Because they are forced to enter the labor force very early in their lives and they think they don't have any projects ahead of them. And I want to start a project to change that in my community.
I have a dream that one day I will help to build a new and stronger educational system community, as in my country we depend on the capital city, and help to decentralize education as to build a stronger education to those ones that can afford going to study in the capital city. Thank you.
I have a dream that one day I will be able to increase mutual understanding between the United States and Argentina. And I know that I will be able to do that because in this SUSI program we learn a lot about bottom-up solutions instead of top-down solutions. And we learn a lot about micro community development strategies that can make overall huge changes.
I have a dream that one day we will learn from our ancestors' traditions, not only for the respecting them, but also embrace their love for Mother Nature, Pachamama, so that she will suffer no more.
I have a dream that one day I will be able to start up my own social business in my city. As I learned in the experience with Dean Saikon, business can provide social justice and inclusion while also being profitable.
I have a dream that by fostering just entrepreneurship, my country will achieve a more inclusive economy. I was inspired by the many leadership workshops we have gone through the SUSI program. I have a dream that wealth won't be interpreted as power, and power will be used as a tool to build a better society, like leadership qualities.
I have a dream that one day educators will receive the respect they deserve as the great leaders they are.
I have a dream that one day civil education programs. I have a dream that one day I will be able to work on civil education programs to raise awareness among my fellow citizens regarding their rights, in order for them to have true freedom, since knowledge is empowering.